For the past 30 days, I have been wearing a Whoop, and I want to tell you the 3 favorite things I like about it and the one thing that I do not like about a Whoop. It is a great wearable, but if you're going to buy one, you got to know what you're getting yourself into. So let's talk about these things. The first thing that I do like about the Whoop is the minimalistic design. So if you're looking at my wrist, it is pretty sleek and minimal, and it's not super bulky compared to an Apple Watch or other watches. It's got sort of like a latex type of band, like a sports band. It stays snug to your wrist. Sometimes you just forget it's there because it's just tight on your wrist. It doesn't have a screen, so you're not checking for time or anything like that. This one is the all black one, so it blends in nicely with maybe a wristband, or if you're not wearing a wristband, it just looks like it's supposed to be there. So that is definitely one of the plus features that comes with this minimalistic design. And make sure you stick around for the thing that I do not like at the very end. And so first thing, I do like the design. I think it's very nice, minimalistic, sleek, and I think that's what some people are going for, especially as athletes. They want to be out of the way, something that they can just wear and not think about. All right, number two, another thing I like about this Whoop is the app. The interface is very nice. It's very sleek. It's very minimal. So you have your home screen. That'll give you all your basic data like sleep, your strain, your recovery. Those are like the 3 main things that this tracks. So when it comes to being an athlete, we know that sleep is super important, and that is something that you need to track and watch. And it gives you more in-depth details on that. Recovery, so you know if you've been hitting the gym hard, if you need to take a lighter day, heavier day, anything in between there. It kind of learns how your body works and what you've done previously and builds off of that data. And lastly, your strain. I kind of said it before, but your strain and recovery are very tied. So depending on how you sleep, it also asks if you've had like a late dinner or caffeine, and it takes all this information. You put this together and it gives you your sleep, your strain, and your recovery, which is super helpful. And it also tracks your daily stress, and it ranks it out of 3. So 0 to 3, 3 being pretty high. Usually you stay around maybe 1, 1.5 when you work out. You're going to go up more in the 2, 2.5, maybe 3, depending on how hard you're working. So then you can kind of check and see how your body's reacting to certain things throughout the day. The sensors go off 23 times a second, so all this data is super accurate, and it's constantly going. So compared to other wearables, this thing is constantly going, and it's super nice because this data stays accurate. Because if it's constantly going, it's going to be picking all this stuff up, and that is one thing I really do like. I also like how it tracks your daily calories as well, because there's other things like my Apple Watch, which I'll be making a video on, so stay tuned for that, where it'll track your calories mainly during the workout is when it starts really counting stuff. But if you're not working out, then it kind of does it less often, so the data is not as accurate. So when it comes to this, when you want to track your calories, this is super nice. It's always going to be going, and it's pretty accurate to what you're probably burning. Obviously, it's not perfect, but going off your height, your weight, your activity, and all those different metrics. The third thing that I like about the Whoop is it tells you your age lifespan. So in the app, you have your home, but then you also have on the second tab where you can check your health lifespan. So currently it says I am less than 18, and that tracks off of your heart rate variability, your sleep consistency, your sleep quality, how much strain you're getting, how hard you're pushing your body. All these different metrics give you points plus or minus. So say I have a really good sleep schedule for a week, and then the next week I have a horrible sleep schedule. I'm going to bed at like 3 a.m. 3 or 4 times a week. That's going to kill it, and your rate of aging is going to increase. For example, I had a really good week of sleeping, and then 1 week I had a bad week, and then my rate of aging went up to about 2, which is high. So you want to try and drop it down. You can do that through better sleep, working out, doing things consistently will help lower your age. Like your VO2 max, the higher that is, the lower it's going to go. So there's these different points, different metrics that can help decrease this. Obviously, it's not an end all be all, but it is kind of fun just to see where it thinks you were at comparable to your age. So currently I'm 21 and it says I'm less than 18. I will take that as a W. So yeah, kind of a fun little thing to look at. And obviously it's not the end all be all, but it is a fun stat to check out every once in a while. Okay, for the thing that I do not like about the Whoop, and this comes with a couple of different metrics I've seen. When you work out, from what I found, there's no location tied to what you did. So, say I went for a run. If I want to put on Strava, there's no location. It doesn't track where that went. Now, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen it yet. And it would have been nice if I could just take that Whoop data, throw it in the Strava. But with my Apple Watch, I track it, then throw it into Strava just because it tracks your location, all those other things. Sometimes, this is a like and a hate, it automatically will upload your activities. So say I went for a run, it'll know when I started and when I ended just based off of my body movements. And then say I go and work out, it tries to do it. And so say I go for the gym for an hour, my rest sets are around 2 minutes. And so it doesn't have time to really pick up on what I'm doing. It might say I worked out for like 20 minutes. So I have to manually go in each time I lift and then put it in for an hour. And then it'll update it, put it on the strain and all that. So that can be kind of annoying. Like today, I was doing some mopping and it said I went surfing for 18 minutes. So I had to go and delete the workout that I was doing. So in that case, that can be slightly annoying, but it's not really a huge deal. It's more of just a slight inconvenience. But I do like how if I go on a run, it automatically just uploads it and you get your calories burned, all the other stuff, but you don't get the location tracking data, split time, and all that stuff. So kind of unfortunate, but everything else I did love, like all the health data, metrics, all that, I do like. It does cost around $250 a year if you want to pay for the subscription, and that's for, I think, the mid-tier one. So it is a little bit more expensive, and it's a yearly thing instead of just, I guess, an Apple Watch where you just buy it. But if you think about it, if you pay $280 every year and you get a new Apple Watch every 3 or 4 years, I guess it's probably the same price. So I guess you can pick and choose what you want. But overall, I do like the Whoop, and there's a lot of good features like the battery life. I couldn't tell you the last time I charged this. I think it's been like a week and a half and it's at like 40%. And it charges pretty quick. I've charged it once since I've had it, and I've had it for 30 days. So that is a plus. You don't ever have to worry about the battery. I take it in the shower, it doesn't come off. You don't have to worry about getting it wet. So those are definitely some plus things that I do like about this Whoop. So stay tuned for my video where I'll be comparing it to my Apple Watch and a secret app that you may or may not have heard about. Anyways, thanks for sticking around and watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.